Welcome everybody. We got the quarterfinal. Wrong button. Let's clear that guy out. Got Martin CHAVEZ against William PEARSON. Both of these guys have been battling it out through the A side. William got through his first match 7-5, second match 7-4, third match 7-1. Martin CHAVEZ got through his first match 7-2. A nail biter, Hill, he won in his second round, and then 7-2 in his last match. So gonna be a good matchup here. Got
Hello?
It's Brown joining us. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. I'm gonna pull up their questionnaire if you want to talk about what's rolling on screen while I'm away from it real quick.
Sounds good. Can't see who won the lag or who broke there. Looks to be William. Nice break. Got a shot on the one ball. It's a little tricky cut into the side pocket, but it's doable.
Guess we're gonna have to let the chat let us know about these two. I believe Martin plays out of Portland. William PEARSON. Let me look him up on Fargo, see if it gives an area that he shoots out of. I believe he's
I believe William is a Washington player. I do know a little bit about William, not a ton.
Yep, you're correct. Out of Seattle, according to Fargo app.
All right, looks like William just barely missed that one ball into the side pocket. Martin's going to probably just go up table, one rail. Hold himself with a 2-ball, little check, nice. Probably nice little, maybe pinch it back 2 or 3 inches, not a ton at all. Take the 5-ball up into that, looks like side pocket, never mind. Thought he was a little straighter than what the camera said.
All right. Posted up, so now I'm present.
Martin, pretty smooth run out so far. Wants to leave himself a little bit of angle on this 7-ball.
Yeah, he was looking at a little steeper angle than. Yeah, I guess you want to get pretty straight on that 8 because you can't really draw into the rail. You're really looking for this line right here. So that's what I call holding myself accountable when I tap on the table. So that's where he's pointed at trying to get to. Near enough.
It's all right. I think you would much rather be this angle than the other angle, just so you're not running into the 9-ball. You just kind of got to move the cue ball a little bit more.
Kind of come around 2 rails, maybe?
Yep. Lovely shot there.
Wow. Once again, wish I had Patrick Nick set up where I could hit the little applause button because he made that look easy. This 10-ball, Martine's looking to draw first blood.
Very confident out there.
Yes, indeed. All right, let me pull up the chat, make sure I'm not leaving anybody. Yeah, we got action. I think that Sora Golf is Steve.
All right, question for you, Trevor, just to start us off.
All right.
First, what would you prefer in your first rack of a match? Do you prefer a nice, easy run out to boost your confidence, or say it's like back and forth safety battle, and then you win the safety battle? Which one do you think gives you more confidence going forward?
That is depending on. So if it's the first match of the day, I don't mind getting into a little tic-tac-toe back and forth interaction, kind of get a feel for the table, my opponent. Like, yeah, sure, if it's an easy run out, obviously you want the first game to be like showing a little bit of control and dominance there, but I think getting into a moving battle activates my brain where I get a little bit more comfortable, if I'm being real, in that aspect. How about you?
I think it depends on the situation. If it's the first match of the tournament, then I definitely agree with you. And my preference is, say you're 3 or 4 matches in and you kind of got a good layout of the table and how it's rolling. I think definitely having a nice, good, solid run out to start off the match, just to kind of develop momentum right off the bat and almost send a message a little bit to your opponent saying that I'm here to play.
Yeah.
But I definitely think, if it's first match, you're not accustomed to the tables yet. I think definitely a nice back and forth safety battle, and coming out on top is a boost in your confidence for sure.
Yeah. Martine has played on this table, on the stream table, in an earlier match. So he is a little bit more familiar with how it's breaking. We did switch out the 8-ball, or I should say Dylan switched out the 8-ball to make it a more complete rack. So Martine's got a little bit of that comfortability with the table, whether it's even anything that, they're all diamond tables. They all play very, very similar, but it's psychologically knowing that you've been on this table already before. It can add that placebo effect of comfortability. This is a tricky... I think he was lining up to come underneath this 8 and out. No. Yeah. I thought that's what he was lining up at first, and I was like, man, that seems like a difficult way to go. I like what he chose instead. Yeah, if you're hitting in that chat, hit that share button. This is going to be a good matchup. Both of these guys are playing really good. Been watching Martine play with Dylan, a lot of scotch, really working and improving upon his game. Going short side. And that last match, the 9th game in at 4-4, both of them were just safetying and kick safetying, and man, it was such a fun rack to watch. I got all sorts of activated.
That's just the inner one pocket player coming at in you.
Yeah,
the strategical warfare.
Yeah, exactly. And both of them, it was given up on a missed combo that was no easy task. It wasn't like there was mistakes being made. It was really, really strong. Martine's moving through this rack really well. This 9-ball, you got to get... That line he was just picking is going to be something like this.
Just got to be careful, I think. Where do you think he has to be on the 9-ball? Do you think if he's somewhere in the middle of the table, I don't think he can cut it without hitting that 10-ball, do you think? I think he has to be somewhere right around here.
Yeah, I'm just going to draw a line from the center of the pocket through the 9, see where he was looking to be pretty straight. I think if you're just right where your circle is, you can then stun out for the 9 very comfortably. Oops, sorry.
I like somewhere right around that line.
Nicely done, getting close to his work too, so he can just stun right on out. Might even get a little bit further away, but he's looking to roll forward. It's all just preference. I like stunning just because it feels more natural, but you get a nice smoother stroke going forward and out.
Looks like he's stunned it as well, so I think stunning is just, a natural shape that you don't have to really do a whole lot with the cue ball there, compared to rolling it forward there where you kind of could end up on the 50-yard line, but he did well.
Really strong showing for Martine. First 2 racks. I got a question for you. At what point is it good time to take a break? Two options for you here. One, you're feeling like your opponent is really in dead stroke, and you haven't had an opportunity. Or 2, after you've made an error that's weighing upon you. Which of those 2 do you think is a better time to take a break for you personally?
For me personally, I think when I make an error, that's when I like taking a break. I think if your opponent's in dead stroke and you haven't really had a chance to at the table, I think that whether you take a break and you're putting your opponent on ice, I think is the phrase for it. I don't know if a 5-minute break is going to break him being in dead stroke compared to if you need to take a step away for 5 minutes to kind of cool off if you made a crucial mistake. I think that type of break is a lot more beneficial than trying to put your opponent on ice.
Nice. Yeah, like I have to agree with you because I also have like kind of like the mindset of like I don't ever intentionally want my opponent to play bad. Like that's just like me personally. Like I know that it's probably not the best mindset to have when you're in steep competition, but like I'm always trying to I'm there for the competition and trying to throw somebody off so that way I have a better chance. Like even if that is the move. There's a nice jump. And 6 is gonna rub a little. No.
Yeah, for example, if you look at this match, how it's going so far for William, all he really had was he won the lag, broke, missed a shot on the one ball, and hasn't really been given a chance in these last 2 racks since. Because Martin, he ran the first rack out, and then broke and ran the second rack. And the first chance William has had at the table since then is that jump shot. And now he's going to be kicking at another ball. So he hasn't really made a crucial mistake. He's missed one ball in the first rack, but since then, he hasn't really been given the opportunities.
I know. Like, I watch a lot of pro-level commentary, too, to, like, put myself to sleep at night. And it's funny how they'll talk about, like, when you make a mistake at the highest levels, it feels like the table punishes you. Like, in the rolls, like, but when you're, like, hitting them good, things go your way. And I think part of that is just our subconscious and, like, those little aspects of, like, the intangible parts of pool. Like, when you're hitting them good, it's rolling good, too. Just theoretical talking there, nothing like actual solid, but like it is interesting. Nice solid hit.
Yeah.
Coverage. Ooh, just squeaks out.
But I think when you're not given the opportunities like William has so far, I think just your thought process when you're sitting in the chair waiting for your next opportunity just has to be positive.
Yeah.
I think you can do a ton of damage if you're sitting in your chair and you're just moaning that your opponent's getting all these rolls. Like, say you're playing like right now, this is when you should take that opportunity, but say he would have played the safe, kicked off a ball, and then randomly got safe. Instead of moping around about that, you kind of just have to take it with how it is. And it may seem that the opponent's the table is just against you. In order to get back in the match, you just have to kind of leave all these mistakes behind you and just focus on what you can do with the table now.
Yeah, I know that's something I struggle with a lot. Like, I get so much caught up in my own head, and like running numbers can be good and it can be detrimental, you know?
Yeah.
Nice. Smooth positional play there. Plays a very natural path to the 3 that leads nicely to the 4. This 4 ball with the 6 and the 10 right there definitely limits your access to the 5. I like getting on in a way that you can just kind of roll up here. Looks like he's sitting pretty good on it. If he gets straight enough, he might be able to draw back into a similar.
Do you think you can maybe put a tad bit of spin on it and go somewhere around here?
Yeah,
Try to get close to the center of the table that way.
Yeah, I think with the angle that he's at here, splitting that 10-9 leads to a wider area for margin. See what he elects to do. Very nice. Marcello in the chat. Come on, Will. I'm a Will fan. Love it. It's going to be a great matchup.
Do you say that Martin is from Oregon?
It's Martine. I got
Martine.
Yeah. Martine. He's the one who plays a lot of Scotch with Dylan.
Gotcha.
Are a strong Scotch partner. They play a lot together.
So little Oregon versus Washington action here. We'd love to see it.
Yeah. When you're dead straight on a ball like this, drawn back, you kind of just take whatever angle you get. I like following forward, so a little bit more control.
Kind of in a little bit of a tricky spot. Because I think if he's here, he can kind of just go natural.
Yeah.
One rail. But now he's kind of in that 50-yard line of, do I want to draw it or do I want to punch it over? I normally like punching it over to the side rail.
But drawn, it might be able to draw back along this line. No, you went with your suggestion around 2. Not hampered by the 10 too much. Makes a little bit longer queuing, but like, just got to find your comfortable spot to be.
Do you like putting a little bit of right spin draw and throwing this ball in, or do you like kind of putting center ball and coming straight across like this?
I think with the hampered queuing, I just like rolling this ball forward and taking a little bit longer 9 ball, just so that way I don't have to worry about my queuing action.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Isn't that a little bit of an odd? Because like rolling forward, you're kind of rolling along this line, and drawing out, you're kind of coming towards the 10 for a stun shot. Like, I think if you can get above the 10 and come all the way out would be ideal, but you're really cheating the pocket to achieve that.
Yeah.
Should be able to just draw straight back a little bit. That works too.
Nicely done.
All right, William, this 10 ball. Getting on the board is always a big part of starting out a match.
Yeah, really big confidence booster there, especially not really getting the best of chances in those first 2 racks. Kind of when you finally do get a chance and you run it out, that's going to do a lot for the mental going forward.
Indeed. And I just feel like the first time you get onto the board, you're just like, all right, we're rolling now.
We got action.
Marcello, no, I didn't go play in New Orleans. This year had a few little unforeseen expenses that canceled my long distance travel plans. I was also hoping to go out the Derby, but a little change of plans. Fortunately enough, there's some good local tournaments happening that are more within the wheelhouse. So I got to get better too. Everybody's like, oh, you only know how good you are until you're in those moments, but yes and no.
These last few years in the Pacific Northwest have really just kind of the level of tournament play has gone up substantially, if you ask me. I mean, if you go up to Seattle this last year, they had the Seattle Open, bringing in a few pros and matchroom events. And I know I think this is more in the Cali area, but if you go down to Sacramento, they have that Chuck Markoulis, which is also a matchroom event, rated event.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I remember when I first started playing competitive pool in like 2019, Oscar was going around on that Mez tour. And man, those were fun. That was like my first big tournament was there at Legends, and watching Oscar and Vimos, I think is how you pronunciate his name. That was such a great matchup. Really nice break from William here. Got a decent look at an opener. Hits that ball perfect. Needs to come off the rail a little bit. It's looking good. What do you think about rolling forward here and just trying to nudge the 6? I feel like that's dangerous, but it's
I think that's dangerous, but that's kind of what I was thinking too. I think the only way that doesn't work out is if you come rail first into the 6 ball and maybe hook yourself behind the 5 for the 5.
Yeah.
But I don't see a lot of bad happening. It likes to stun instead.
I like it. Getting above the line so you can... he's shaping up this positional play. Got to be careful of the side pocket here. I don't know why I know this, but I do. Chris Ravens from the chat saying, "Let's go, Martine." Just because of my bad experiences, I actually like to stun this ball here and let the natural outside kind of travel you a little bit more naturally into a large area.
Yeah, I think going 2 rails that you were saying, I think you have a higher chance of actually running into the 6 ball as well. Yeah. So I think stunning is a higher percentage.
But how about this? This gets perfect. Get underneath of it a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm trying to lean forward. He's got a little bit of angle to work with.
I think if he rolls forward, he should have plenty. Should be able to get a little bit straight on that 7 ball.
Yeah.
You don't want to overpower this shot. It's more of a smooth stroke rather than a really punchy forced follow.
Yeah. As close as it is to the side pocket, I almost like that queuing position more than a steeper angle, because you start out into here and gets a little nervy coming across your shot line, because, excuse me, you're coming across the shot line this way. Your positional play is a little bit dicier than when you're rolling into it, because like there's lots of different lines you can be rolling into that ideal.
Yeah.
But you do need to get pretty good on this 7, because...
Does he look like he have a little bit of draw on it?
Oh,
stunning.
Punch it out there. Well, showing some confidence there. Love it.
Okay, you got to be careful. You don't want to get behind the 10 ball here. And you don't want to line up your stroke where it's not a super confident stroke and you end up jawing it either.
Yeah. And you don't want to be too thin on the 8, because when you're tracking up table on your next shot, the 9's not readily available. You have kind of a tight window to hit. So, crucial shot here.
Yeah. You had to put a little spin onto that to have it come inside the 10-9. Did not leave Martine good, though.
No, but pretty easy safe. I think your target area should be like right in here for the 7, and leaving your cue ball up in here. Oh, he's going the other way. Yeah, if you can get these lower balls aligned up, it's a very productive safe. It's very hard safe to kick out of, so I like his option going that way. It's just a much more exacting safety play when you're playing those tighter areas, because you're really only looking for these tight windows, you know, of coverage. But man, when you can get it to work out,
I wouldn't be surprised if William just tries to barely thin the 7 ball, leave it right here, and try to put the cue ball right where it is at currently.
or even just down on the bottom rail near the 8 wouldn't be too terrible. You went right where your 7 line was. Even selling out the pocketing angle here, being close to the rail, man, it's really a challenge shot if you're gonna take this on.
Yeah, even if you make it, you're probably going to end up playing safe right afterwards unless you want to take a full table bank on. Could possibly use the 10 ball as a stopper for the cue ball, but being on the rail, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to put any spin or draw.
Yeah, it's amazing how often a challenge shot as a return safety like that can work out in your favor. Like, you never want to be selling out a shot because it obviously gives your opponent a percentage to beat you. But man, when it does work out in your favor, it can really change the tides.
Yeah.
In confidence at the table and comfortability. I'm not saying that Martin took on the wrong shot there or anything like that. It's just, if it does go in your favor, as from Williams' perspective, it can be a big confidence boost for you and have potentially the opposite effect. Drawing straight back out.
Got a little bit of spin on it.
Love
to
to
open
see
it up a little.
Love to see that. It's pretty flat though.
Yeah, I believe he's probably just going to go. Well, maybe it looks like he's drawing it out.
Just draw right back out. Same kind of shot they just shot. Right towards his chalk. Ooh.
Ooh, didn't have the spin on that one though.
Yeah, man.
Kind of looked like he let up it on his stroke at the last second too. Didn't get as much draw as he wanted.
Yeah, he's picking this line right here. Let his cue ball run back up. This is a tough spot to get out of. I've set it up so many times.
What would you prefer in this situation? Would you just? I know you're a very good bank pool player. Would you go for the full table bank and just go 100% offense, or would you just try to separate the balls? Maybe put one here and another one here.
I've set it up enough that, yeah, the bank that he's lining up, banking this ball back here, your cue ball is going to be kind of tracking along this line. You know, you're having a swing at it. Oh my lordy.
Oh my goodness.
What an answer. and it's one of the things, like, William played a great safe, and it's one of those things of, like, you are leaving your opponent with a 50-50. You're going to win this game or you're going to lose this game off of this shot. You know, and I mean, in this case, Martin hit a fantastic bank.
Yeah. So it goes back. It kind of goes back to Williams' safe that he just did. Would you much rather fire at maybe the cross side bank there, or play the safe that he just did? Obviously, in hindsight, it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah,
but
I think
would you much rather take the bank on yourself or play the safe? It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah,
give your opponent the chance to go for the 50-50 shot.
You know, it just depends on what I'm feeling. Like, early on, I think I would have played it exactly like William. Like, now that he's drilled that bank back in my eye, yeah, definitely next time I come to the table, I'm like, all right, I'm going to be the one firing. You know, it's so situational. Like, I think William played the correct shot, and Martin just had a great answer. Like Steve's saying in the chat, stepping up on that shot. Like, feel like he played what he could, and it worked out.
So you believe if the same situation comes up going forward, if you were at the table, you would be taking the shot from here on out?
Yeah.
Nice carom there.
Very nice.
I think this rack is very important for William. He just kind of let one opportunity slip through his fingers to tie the match up, and now he has another opportunity. They kind of delay the momentum that Martin just got with that great bank.
Yeah. Yeah, when I'm at the table after the answer shot that Martin just made, I'm like, all right, I want to play this rack as perfect as I possibly can I'm going to be slow, I'm going to be methodical. I want everything to be as dialed in as I can to kind of regain that momentum that feels lost. And I mean, so far William, played a great carom. He's in great position. Oh, catches the point. He's okay. He's gonna have to take on some distance.
I think he's gonna be able to. This is such a touchy shot because I think he's gonna miss the 8 ball, but he might run into the 9 ball and get hooked behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
It's so touchy because you don't want to hit it too hard because you could actually hit the 9 ball and scratch in the bottom left-hand corner off of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can clear that and then really open it up with the angle, the 7 ball still plays big. I like his commitment there. I was just about ready to say, if you were going to shoot to run into the 8, you got to go full commit because you're leaving yourself a tough shot, and it's really easy to kind of let up in the stroke or do something funky.
He's got to come up with a shot here, though.
Yes, he does.
The only pocket.
Yeah, man, that's just.
I think since he moved that 8 ball in front of that bottom left-hand corner pocket, he's kind of got to. He's got to settle somewhere on this 7 ball.
Or you can bend it. Yeah, he picked that first one. Oh my lord!
Oof.
Missed both the 9 and the 10 there. See, we're back into that position, and he's like, all right, you made that bank last time, maybe I'll leave it to you again. But my first instinct is like, hey, I can stop this cue ball pretty close to right there or cut it in. I'm thinking offense here more than defense just after that.
Are you thinking cross-side bank and having kind of that 10 ball, just a stop shot bank?
I would first be looking at cutting that with the speed to get my cue ball down into here. So that way, if I overcut it, you're leaving a lot of distance with potential coverage on the 10 ball.
Looks like he's got the short stick out. Called the side pocket for the bank.
He may not even have enough of that 7 to cut it into the side. He's got, like you said, he's got the jump. He's partially hooked here.
Kind of amped up a little bit on that jump shot.
Yeah, I mean, he's come with some great shots, catching that point right here, getting him funny in line. Then he makes that great 6 back there, misses the 10 and the 9. You could see a little frustration mounting, and very justifiably so. Little funny things can start to get in the head. Ooh. Comes in behind it. Big opportunity for William to kind of regroup. And then this spot is do not rush this. Don't let that frustration there. And the last shots have spend some time, make sure you get out from here, really capitalize.
Yeah. Nicely done there. That was probably the most important shot of the match so far.
Yep.
He's just got to get out.
Yeah, I think if you don't have enough angle to stun up for the 9, you can draw out. I like stunning. Oh,
Ooh, little force follow. Left
lots.
himself a lot of distance, and he's straight.
Yeah.
I think he is looking at going all the way up.
I don't think he's going to slow roll it that much. It'll probably be actually more like...
Yeah.
He's in ideal location. He's got to bear down. Be like, this is when you need it.
Yeah, it's those shots that you just got to make it.
Yeah.
Whew.
Wide side of the pocket, but it goes down.
Hey, little one railer.
I just saw his body language for a minute, and I was like, you're seeing the angle better than me. Big game for William there. Like, I think that's the first ball Martins missed.
I just outright missed. I think you might be right. I think he's made a few positional errors these last couple racks that kind of let William back in.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as missed ball, that might have been the first one.
He actually drilled that bank. I think he's given up a look at a couple of safeties gone for, but I mean, 3-2. Not a lot of mistakes being made between the two of them. Couple of positional. Man, he's juicing up on that break. Lots of. Gets the 5 to go. Don't think the 1 goes by the 2. If you're comfortable with backside carom, pretty natural letting your ball come back up underneath of the 2 ball while like cutting it along this angle. So even if it leaks out a little bit, as long as you're keeping your 1 ball really close to the rail there, I don't know if there's a lot else.
You kind of got to trust the table a good amount with that.
Yeah, it's
playing it that slow.
I did roll some balls on table 5 when I was out here last week, and it's pretty true. There's a couple, I think on this end it rolls just like right here, it rolls out just ever so slightly. Like just in this one little area. That was like the only spot that I seen a roll. But you taking this cut on?
I'm probably taking this cut on, and then just I prefer offense over defense. If I have a shot, I feel like I can make it, and what I look at it is, if my opponent comes to the table, then they have a chance to do something positive. But if I make it, if I take the shot and it works out for me, that I lose that chance. That's kind of what I look at it, which is why I like going for things, even if in that case it was running into the 4 and 6 or 6 ball to get shape on the 2 ball. I think the positives can sometimes outweigh the negatives of what could happen.
Yeah, I think, yeah, because like here, if he comes underneath of this ball, or it gets, that's not too bad. I think it gives up the side pocket, but like your cue ball is traveling away from your 2. Yeah, and back to your taking on the offensive, like it depends. Like if I'm coming off of like a bad roll or a bad positional play rather than a bad roll, like I may lean towards playing the safety just to kind of like not let that error escalate. Yeah, that's a strong safety there. jumping this ball? Sizing it up because I don't think he's got his jump cue in hand.
This is kind of a difficult jump. I think looks like he is going for his jump cue. The problem with jumping this ball is you're really only going for the hit.
Yeah.
Because the cue ball is going to be going away from the 2-ball, and you're going to be left with really nothing except a defensive shot afterwards. So at what point is kicking at the ball more beneficial to jumping it? I think just the percentages of not fouling is kind of what you're looking at, more than the actual selling out.
Yeah, I feel like if you can come top side off of that 1 ball, a lot of good things can happen.
I agree.
Oops. Line draw. Something like that. Nice hit. But didn't get the return safe. I feel like here you can play a pretty natural 2-way, letting your cue ball kind of stun up here with some outside and kill it.
And try to pocket the 1 ball in the bottom left-hand corner while you're doing it.
Yep. Pinching, like if you can like nestle up onto the 4 ball. Just gotta bear down, pick your line. Looks like he played that a little faster than he has been the other ones.
Yeah, I think he has made a few mistakes these last couple racks. So I think William kind of just putting a little bit of pressure on might have influenced that shot.
Yeah. Yeah, because if in a lot of aspects, Martine may have been sitting in as like any one of us sitting in that chair after playing a good safe. You know, you're thinking you're going to get something good out of it, and when it doesn't come back to you that way, like it can cause you to kind of like, what do I do to get a good look from this guy when he's constantly kicking strong? But even though he missed that shot, he left a dinger here. Is he just gonna push up balls onto it? Yeah, I like it. It's kind of like saying earn your keep, but the dangerous thing is, as long as he can clear that 6,
You're just gonna find yourself in the same exact position that you were just at.
yeah.
That's exactly what Martine. Yep.
I think as long as don't. Yeah, I think that was what was smart about freezing that ball up against it. Is you got to catch that so thin to not have that separation that happens there. Because even if this is on the knuckle, I've watched some videos powering through it, but it's got to be like sitting just so perfect to compress that knuckle.
Whew.
Gets the separation. Don't know if it gives up the pocketing angle though. Looks like the max you can get is maybe like.
Yeah, I believe he's gonna have to play safe. That's what he's looking at. Probably gonna take the cue ball, attempt to go something like that is my guess.
I was gonna say that 7 ball plays so big there, but
It does.
But in this case, it nudged it out to block the pocketing angle. Yeah, he's calling it the cross side. I think the 7 might be a little bit in the way because he's trying to come across the face of it. Have the 2 ball have a potential here, so we're probably going to see a little bit of speed on this. Always 2 rail in it.
Rails. Good effort. It's the 3-ball in the game. It looks like it.
Does look like it. What do you think about going wide off of the carom here, calling the 2, letting your...
That's an awfully tricky shot. I think since you're jacking up over the 7-ball, kind of accuracy is at a premium. Oh, looks like we just lost Trevor. That's okay. Ooh, plays the combo. That was a difficult shot.
Yes, it was.
Shot he might come to regret. Martin, chance to kind of pick up that momentum. Last couple racks, he's hasn't been given the most opportunities. He did miss a ball, I believe, last rack that he could have closed that rack out.
Yeah. Reacting to the chat, Will shoots good. He got me 7-1, and all of his safeties were lock up, says Patrick Nix. Marcello also say Will's a good player. You have tough battles with him. He has good cue ball control and kicks like a mule, or kicks very good. So, yeah, I love seeing wise decision making and strategic battles. Like, it is fun watching somebody play a flawless out in perfect perfect position the entire time. But like I said, I do like a little grudge safety battle. Nice kill shot there. So it sounds like from the chat that Will likes to grind out racks, and what we're seeing from Martin is like, yeah, his running capabilities are super strong. Oh, this is the 7-ball. I thought that was the 3. Yeah, I got kicked out of the... Here I'm thinking he's in perfect position, but he's a little bit funny on the 6, that's for sure.
Not quite, yeah. It's kind of very tricky. You know, wherever you're going, whether you're going 6 in the bottom right or bottom left, you're going away from the 7-ball.
Yeah, I think in an ideal world, you can kind of get into here and pinching it. But man, that is a lot to ask for.
Ooh, how about you just play it off the point?
Hey, how else are you supposed to get on that ball?
Yeah, I know.
But he does, unless he's willing to take on the combo here. And with the 10 in close proximity, you got to get really good on this 8-ball to do that.
Yeah. It's like he is settling.
Yeah, see, if you're above it like this, it starts getting... Got to run into your 10-ball, slow speed, holding for the 8, worrying about the 10. Lots of things going on.
I don't think you can play this at slow speed, though. I think he's got a big enough angle that if he plays it with slow speed, he's for sure behind the 10-ball.
I was saying slow speed so you can track right in the 10 and just bump the 10 right to the rail. He went your route, because I think that's the right play for sure, because making sure you don't get something funny happening. Showing some maturity there, taking all those tough shots and laying down a nice solid safe. 2 balls on the table. It's amazing how many times that wins you games.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do. Psychological execution.
Especially when you get down to the final 2 balls on the table and all you want to do is fire.
Yeah. I was watching a match on Pacific Northwest pool thing, and it had Chris Byers and Cole Gibbons on there talking, and somebody posed the question about what do you see a lot of lower rated players making the highest errors on, and one of the biggest responses was playing aggressive when you need to play safe. Ooh, what about this for a double kiss? Gonna sit right on the rail. Oh! Dang. What a shot.
Now, Martin has made one of these already this rack.
This one's much tougher. Just because if you're back cutting it over to the bottom left, your tendency is to come up like a diamond short. It's so hard to account for the pinch of that back bank when it's that close to the rail. And stiffing, you gotta play it at such a high speed. Is he coming around through the speed on the 10? Is he gonna get it? It's a little bit wide.
That's a tough shot. This is also a tough shot, though. I wouldn't want to hit this one.
Yeah, at least he's not impeded by the 10 ball for his queuing.
Do you take this in the top left or the top right?
I feel like I have a better visualization top right, playing it with top and letting it come around 3 rails. He's already waving. He knows right where that ball is.
On a spin.
Settle.
Nicely done. Great speed control there.
Martin really showing some finesse with these 2 ball. I mean, that window he had to hit was 5 inches wide.
I think Will is trying to convince himself the jump shot's a play here. I don't see it personally.
Just depends on how good you are with the dart. If you're a comfortable dart jumper, like, but man, I hate
I just feel like the only play that I'm seeing is playing it cross corner and trying to play the cue ball on the bottom rail for like kind of like a 2-way shot, but that's so hard to do with jump cue.
Yeah.
I think maybe kicking at it 2 rails is a higher percentage here. It kind of looks like that's what he's thinking.
I'm actually, yeah. I mean, that's such a sellout direction to go about it. But I mean, I feel like with where the 10 ball's at and running into the 8 ball, you're kind of in a do or die situation right here. Because I mean, the only way you get safe kicking at it this way is having the 8 ball track up into this area.
Ooh.
Super strong safety, strategical play from Martin there. Gains him ball in hand. What a battle on this rack. Because anytime you're kicking into a ball that's in this box here, center table, compared to being close to the rail, so much smaller of a margin, because when you're close to a rail, the ball grows exponentially, 6 or 7 inches wide sometimes. Center table, that ball's 2 1/4 a whole day. There's very rare that you have a backdoor connection, All right, while he breaks, I'm going to check into the other A-side match with Julian and Javier. Javier is up 6-3 over Julian. East Side match. Jason G is up 6-2 over Savi Nayek. And that's the only other match being played right now. We're getting down to the sweaty.
Ooh. Nice safety by Martine there. Should leave William with a pretty easy one railer. Probably going to try to send the one ball somewhere down here. Try to leave the cue ball anywhere behind this 3 ball. Unless you can see it.
Yeah, if he can come across the face and play kind of a one pocket. Oh no, he called the kick. Yeah, he's going the line you had pointed out just a moment ago.
I think he did call it. He did call it, but I don't think he's trying to make it here. I'd be very surprised.
You gotta call it, because I mean, point. So that had all sorts of good potential coming down here with tons of coverage, but man, in the Moscone when FSR kicked a very similar shot to what William just took on against Sky Woodward. That was nuts. Hold up, 5 ball stays out of the game. Zach in the chat saying Javier and Martine in finals is his prediction. He says, although I want Patrick to win. Hey, nobody likes a brown noser, mister. I'm just excited to see all these folks having a swing to be able to go down and represent. We're going to have a person from the Northwest down at Vegas representing, and I think that's awesome. Super tight window to try and get somewhere along this line. Always trying to slow roll it in the hole.
That's very risky. But with that 6 ball kind of hanging in the pocket, all he has to do is focus on making this 5.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think he has the potting angle, though. I think the 7's in the way, and I think he's got to go rail first. And your cue ball is naturally tracking right at this 9, and if it does hit it full, you're in a real tough spot. I think he's going to have to put a little bit of speed on this to kind of get out of there. Oh, no, you can see it. Zach, don't tell me the shh. I'm here to ramble on about pool.
Are you kind of putting a little bit of speed on here, trying to come 2 rails and out? Or he's going rail first. That works too.
I was going to say, that line you just drew looked like a rail first to me, and that's exactly but he shot it faster than I could jamber it out. I was like, I think as long as because here you're going to be running into the 10 pretty naturally.
Yeah, I think you want to put a little bit of outside English on here. Just so you're not hitting the bottom of the 10. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is anything but the bottom of the 10 and you should be okay. 10 cuts down your natural line. I think pure top gets you going a little bit wide, kind of tracking along this line. Oh no, that was...
I wonder if he was in the middle of 2 shots there, which is kind of why he I wonder if he was trying to just maybe go one rail and down, but he changed to the 3 rails at the last minute, or 3 or 4 rails at the last minute.
Yeah.
So that's a common mistake that I know I make when I miss balls like that. He's probably shaking his head because he knew he was out too.
And he's lining up, kicking the 8 ball like this, and if he can bend and pinch the cue ball, keep it anywhere in here and kind of get the 10 ball for coverage, would be super strong. He's also like,
How do you like playing the bank into the side pocket and kind of just holding the cue ball for this 9 ball? I think that's
I think as long as you, I think if you can pinch your cue ball to the bottom rail. Look out, cue ball.
Careful.
Oh, that was such a close margin from catching the point and leaving him hooked. It's a tough one to fade from William to having an opportunity and then relinquishing it really back. Ouch indeed, Steve, from the chat.
All right. 5-2 from Martine.
In bracket updates, Javier did just win 7-3 over Julian. Paul Felty and Shane Dunkley are just starting 2 minutes ago. Oh, Marty. Straight into the drink.
All right. Perfect opportunity for William here. This is crucial. I feel like this is almost a must-win rack for William at this current moment. I mean, you could come back from 6-2, but your opponent just scratched after you just lost a very kind of heartbreaking rack. So getting out here is a huge confidence boost.
Yeah, and the pattern of these balls lends to pretty natural, not a lot of wild cue ball movement. Everything's moving maybe 1 rail or less until you get to maybe the 9 ball. But that 10 is a good distance off of the rail, so just gotta stick with it, stay present and bear down. I think you can take the 6 in the side after the 4 here. He's already traveling a little bit away from the 4. Gonna have a little bit more distance unless he wants to go up and back. Flex with some distance. If he's got the angle to come down to the bottom rail and back up, it's a little bit more natural of a stroke. Yeah. Didn't get ideal.
Do you risk taking the 6 ball into the side pocket and running into the 7 here? Or taking a tougher shot by putting the 6 in the top right-hand corner?
He's acting like that ball's straight. Oh, he's looking if he can just nudge into the 7. That's what it looked like he was lining up there. I mean, depending on the angle, it's so hard to see from here. My first instinct is to draw, pinch draw back. It's because following into this ball, they can get close, but he handles it really well. Little off angle, or a little too flat, I should say. And heading away from the 8 ball. So, I mean, you got to really punch this in to get around, but he does so very well.
Want to be straight. Very good.
Yep. Done straight up the table. I don't think you roll this, do you? No. Oh,
oh, careful. You made this shot much more difficult than it needed to be.
Yeah, I think he was trying to stun up and back up. And just by the way that he stroked that, it looked like he just had just a little bit of force follow. Big strokes and accurate cueing. Things can get away with you in a hurry. Just being just a tiny bit off. This game is can be brutal. Come with it shot. Oh, no.
Kinda doesn't want to double. Ooh.
Yeah, that's tough. If you don't have to elevate too much, I'm just really getting into this ball and cinching it back, I think is pretty doable.
Ooh.
He just hit that ball full.
Missed it by a good margin there, too. William needs to take advantage here.
100%. It's a little thin. Oops. If it was frozen on the rail, I'd say go up and come back. But I think he's got enough distance off the rail. Yeah. In this angle, it's always hard to see because you can't see the shadow, how close he is to the rail.
Yep.
All right, we got more action than we did think a couple seconds ago. Because 6-2 is a big difference from 5-3. See if any of those. Yeah. Round 2 B-side matches have started up. Everything's 0-0 except for Paul Felty's got 1-0 over Shane Dunkley, but just getting rolling. Steve, we got action indeed. Oh,
Ooh.
That's my least favorite way to scratch in 10 ball or 8 ball. Getting kicked up into that pocket when you're bending to the rail. It's surprising how often it happens. Really.
Yeah.
Like you gotta really keep your cue ball in a very tight area to keep that from happening. Our team looking to work out this rack. The 6 to the 7 looks like a humdinger. I mean, if the 7 goes underneath the 9, it's a little bit more accessible, but no easy feat. Just getting from the 5 to get good on the 6. Lots of work to do on this rack. Be straight enough just to pinch this ball and sit right close to there. Yeah. He's got to draw back, kind of come at it from this secondary line here. Gonna come up a little short. Didn't get into that ball quite as he intended. Being right up on the rail cuts down drawing this ball. Natural angles kind of always just staying underneath of it. But what did he do?
Tricky position here.
Super tough.
A lot of very tight windows to fit in.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta play this with like tip of top and just let it kind of bend forward into here. Yeah, it was asking a whole lot, but the thing is, where the cinnamon ball still is sitting, I don't think the out is necessarily available for William. Excuse me. Is he looking to thin off of this and try and come around 3 rails and get underneath that coverage?
It's, no matter which way you look at it, it's looking like a tough position to be in.
For sure.
I think playing the bank, maybe just jacking up and trying to draw straight back.
Yeah, that's kind of was my first instinct.
Oh, don't scratch.
My gosh.
Oh,
This is just brutal. I gotta watch that in the replay. I would have lost a lot of money on odds of him scratching into that pocket off of that shot, that's for sure. Chances of that are super tough. Still
keep looking to. What do you take this into the side pocket or all the way up? I'm thinking all the way up.
especially now. I think that was the right play from the beginning. You can just cinch back a little bit, play a stop on the 8. Yeah, everything from this angle lends to action at the 9. Just gotta bear down on pocket. Is he cutting to the side? Maybe it doesn't go by that 10. I just didn't like being on this side of it if I could help it to avoid having to interact with the 10, but
this could be tricky. He might clip the 10. Gotta go. Gotta go.
doable, but it is missable. Gotta come with one more good one here.
Just gotta make it.
That's it. Gotta worry about nothing else. I predict 2 rails back to center table. Speed.
Oi!
Oh!
Kind of looked like he rushed that stroke just a little bit.
He did. There was a little bit of movement going on behind him. Like, I'm not saying that somebody interacted with him, but like just having somebody at the table. Watching the replay. No. Somebody just walked by after he shot it. Made me think that, but
kind of a roller coaster these last few racks. Seems like one of them is running all the way down, and then these last 2 balls have seen like some blunders from both players.
yeah. Steve from the chat, that hurts 100%. Could be the momentum change. We'll see. William to break, though.
Came across it again. 2 ball goes in. 3.
Ooh,
3 balls on the break there.
3 balls on the break. Only tricky is getting in the way on the 7 ball that you can get over to the 8. He's got to draw back to about 2 inches off of the long rail. You can go forward, but I feel like you have less problems drawing it.
Careful 6 ball. It's got to go.
Gets there.
Do you like taking your medicine here and playing the 6 ball all the way down?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, just letting your cue ball travel. Get like right in there where you can just have a nice angle, maybe a little shorter than that, but
I don't think I like this shot. 'Cause now you're going. If it goes here, problem is now the cue ball is going away from the 7 ball. Unless you maybe want to bear down. Looks to slow roll it. If you are talking, Trevor, you are muted while you're drawing these lines. Let it be known.
whoopsie. I had the yawn and I muted myself and forgot to undo it. Thank you. Ooh, I do kind of like the bank option. like he was sizing that up, because if you can fade up back up to center table, and the angle that he's playing it at, if it goes short, kind of have a two-way. Man, tough spot to be. Lock up, safe.
Lovely.
Zach in the chat says, I'm trying to draw lines on YouTube. I think that's the hardest thing when you have lines able to draw. Like, that's what makes this so much fun, is like going and watching pool where you can't. It's a struggle.
Ooh. Kind of the momentum is kind of shifting a good amount here. Martin, these last few racks made very crucial errors.
Yeah. I mean, that was a tough one to kick out of, but clipping the 10 seems pretty uncharacteristic to the play that we've been seeing from him. A little bit of an angle. Is he trying to draw up near the 9? Nice. Keeping distance and simple. I like it.
Just trying to be as straight as possible on this 8-ball. Stop shot.
Yeah, I think actually if you can kind of like stun forward an inch or two would be ideal to kind of slide back out for the 10, but let's see what kind of angle he's got. Oh yeah. That's perfect.
Well, he's probably going to want to slow roll this ball in. I mean, the cue ball is kind of going along this line.
Yeah.
So you're kind of going away from the 10 ball, unless you want to play 2 rails.
I'm just rolling straight up. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wobble bobble. Oh, that last creep. Saw just a tiny little bit of bend in that last roll. Definitely in Williams' favor. This is no hanger.
I think he calculated that roll on the table. He knew I was there earlier.
You would say something like that. Big shot to tie us up. It's one of those shots from here. It looks real simple, but then when you're down on the ball, that close proximity back cut, man, it can be real hard to visualize at times, but he drills it.
5-5.
Man, what a swing. This is when I would take a break.
I agree. I think especially after, yeah.
It's not to try and slow down. You're like, man, if you're at all thinking in your head, I should be up, or I should have been up 6-2 with that, whatever, I can't even remember exactly. I think it was like an undercut back 9. Like he had an opportunity to go up 6-2. Like you could be having those thoughts and like just go collect yourself. We're coming back to a race to 2. Like all that doesn't matter. Not saying you have to take a break right here, but just because we brought it up at the beginning of this set, this is if it, at any point so far, this would be the time that I would take a break. And
4 ball goes in.
3 ball goes. And watching him break is like watching a wind-up toy. He's like, ding, ding, whap.
It's funny how sometimes that works for some players, though. Everybody has their own little style.
Yeah, whatever. You can't argue results. It's 2 balls on the break. A little bit of a tough opener, but it lends to natural position on the 2. Oh, he's got it in the side pocket. I'm looking at the 6 ball. I'm not tired. Ooh,
Leaves the bank. That's an interesting. I don't know too much about Williams' bank abilities, but if he decided to leave himself in, I'm assuming it's halfway decent.
I think that 8-ball plays big though. Coming around.
I
I mean,
agree.
I think the pocket plays very large here because, like, anything between these two diamonds banking into the side pocket should be a pretty high percentage just because that pocket plays so wide. Like, bank pool players especially, like, we call that the honey zone. Honey hole, excuse me.
See, me as not a bank pool player, I'm thinking banking this ball right back here and then putting some mojo on the cue ball and drawing it back into this if he's able to do it.
I don't think so. I think if you were to put pure draw on this, you'd be running into the 9 with the angle he's got to. I mean, yeah, it would be ideal. I think you can play this with top, get it to bend into the rail, bend a little bit more here, and track towards this. And once again, yeah, you're putting some mojo on that to. Big shot here.
Yeah.
Got bottom on it. Just looks to. All that talking about the bank.
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, I think it's the right play. Playing a little conservative if you're not feeling it. Like if you were thinking going around 3 rails and that 8-ball played big, this is no good way to take on a shot that doesn't have a good result. That's tough.
Good shot
Fire.
right there.
Fire. Like sizing up where you want to be on that 7 because that is definitely the key ball to this rack.
Does that 7 ball go in the lower left-hand pocket?
I'm assuming so, the way he kind of sizing it up and playing the position that he is. From here, it looks like possibly no, but when they're close like that, you could have a 1/4 inch gap there that we just can't see from this camera angle. Tell you one thing, if he landed straight on this, having to kind of trickle this ball in, being in close proximity at the 10, it's easy for nerves to take over a little bit and interfere with your fundamentals. Comfortability. Comfortability goes down a little bit.
I know a shot like this, if it is straight in, which it looks pretty spooky close, I think doing a stun follow instead of rolling the ball in lends to a more confident stroke.
I got Dylan with the high-speed camera out. It's that close.
I feel like on this, if just the 10 ball moves at all, it's a foul.
Yeah, see, that's like that. It's just so tough. So tough. Ideal position would be somewhere along that spot, so you can naturally come one rail out.
Almost right on it. Now, I know you and me have had this conversation before, and we have very opposing views of this, but I couldn't help but notice that Dylan had his phone out on that shot. Do you feel like when a ref comes, the foul should be made on the spot instead of having a phone and watching the replay determine the shot?
I think that there's absolutely no reason you shouldn't use technology that's available. I mean, it's kind of like saying, like, when cars first came out, like, we all walked to the store and back because it's good exercise, but, you know, it's just down the street. Like, are you going to take your car down to the street? It's like, why wouldn't you? Like, if I want to go for a walk, I'll go for a walk. That's just my take on it, but I know it's a new thing. Or it's a thing that's starting to become a little bit more used in the pool community with the accessibility of just having slow-mo on almost any smartphone anymore.
This is true. William, first on the hill.
First on the hill after being down 5-2, wins 4 straight games. Yeah, Steve on the chat saying NFL instant replay. It's kind of the same thing. Like, it just assures that you're making the right call. Because, like, think about it from the reverse side. Like, would you rather be in the position of having a ref call a good hit bad because he made it on the spot and then refused to watch a high-speed replay? Or the flip side, you hit a shot that you think's good, but they have high-speed capabilities and they show you that it was bad. Like, are you going to be more upset that you have irrefutable evidence that it was a bad hit? Like, which of those two would you prefer to be in the situation of?
I think what I feel, and I know, like, a tournament like this, we don't have refs on every single table to warrant, you know, like a ref making a call. Ooh, scratching the side. Like, making a call on the spot and having a challenge flag, like in the NFL, that you can, if you do disagree with it, then you can challenge and then the replay would come up. But you would need a lot more cameras and a ref on every single table to make something like that happen.
Definitely.
Because I think my biggest kind of argument is if you have a camera out and a call for like a foul isn't made on the spot, you're waiting like a minute to determine whether it was a legal hit or not. And that's a minute that your opponent could use, especially if there's like a shot clock or something in rules, that your opponent could use it to an advantage. But it does, at the end of the day, the call is going to be correct every single time. I do agree with that.
Not muted. You're muted, but I can hear you, Alex. That is interesting, just as a heads up. I don't know if the chat can hear you or not, but sorry, I got booted out of the thing for internet issues. Martin played a really good safety there. Got a little bit fortunate with a couple little rubs, but 9-10 is still a big problem. why Martin is electing to go for the 3-foul option and or see if a kick solves that problem after good contact. I like how he's immediately stepping up and looking at the spot in which he hit the rail. If you're playing a safety and you just shoot a stop shot, your opponent, if he's paying attention, can walk right up and look right along that line and have a good idea where to go. He may have gotten up underneath the 7 enough to take away that option, but this is a big shot in this match. Good solid hit. Didn't disturb the 9 and the 10. Demon a success, even though the pocket is available with the 2 ball. Still makes Martin have to earn this rack. Oof. He was trying to get a rub on that and was coming into it on the dangerous side.
Might try to risk it and break it out on this shot.
Yeah, but then you're going to tie up your 5 ball likely with the 9 ball.
This is true.
You like coming into it that line.
Further that this rack goes on, and the more that is a problem, the less amount of times he has to fix it.
Agreed.
Oh. This could be a great opportunity for William. However, that 7 ball, I think, just blocked that top left-hand corner pocket.
I agree. I think if that 5 went by the 7, he could stun off of the 4 into the 9, get underneath the 5, but I just don't. I might actually elect the play return. It's like, I'm not biting, sending the 4 ball back up table and sticking the cue ball back up underneath of the 9 and the 10. But I'm a scaredy cat. Ask Alex, he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was still going for the chip out.
That is, if it does go by, he's going to need to use a lot of that pocket.
I was thinking he may be seeing if the 5 goes on the side was maybe why he elected to take on the 9 breakout there. Didn't miss it by much.
Very tricky. Even a save here could be tricky.
Yeah, he waved off. Looks like he's trying to bank the 5 over near the 6 and bring the cue ball back up table. Oh no.
Oh, that's could be worse.
Drama. The furniture has been rearranged and it's not in a more favorable position for anybody at this point.
I think that right-hand side pocket's the only pocket this 6 ball goes into. But how do you get there from this 5 ball?
I mean, what are you gonna do? Load up with inside?
That's what I was thinking, but that is an incredibly hard shot.
Yeah. I mean, you have to really get into this ball. I wouldn't hate just taking the cue ball and nestling up over behind the 7, sending the 5 ball back up into here, something like this. Trying to force the issue. Because I would just, from Martin's position right now, if I was up 6-5, I might take it on. But like being down, I would hate to. Well,
Kind of seems like Martin is getting a little bit antsy, trying to force it maybe a little bit too much.
Feeling the pressure coming in a little bit, and
Yep, he knows he was ahead 5-2, and now he's down 5-6 with his opponent on the hill.
just wondering if you can just catch the rail first lightly there and keep the energy in the cue ball coming up table and just run into it and take whatever comes, because just pocketing this ball. And of course you could come at it from this way too, but all right.
From here, flick off the left side of the 6, try to stick the cue ball behind that 10 ball.
I think playing into the 9 ball gently, kind of giving a little bit of slowdown on the 6 ball, leaving your cue ball like right in here. That's what he tried. Gets there. Martin up against a wall here. Need to really come with something. Good solid contact, but this could be curtains.
Really just one good shot needed on the 6 ball.
Yeah. Just needs to get anywhere outside of this line. Dead straight, just draw back kind of where you're at now, I'd assume.
Anywhere in the center of the table.
Yeah. What a match. Lots of ups and downs. This 10 ball, William looking to run 5 straight games to come back from a 2-5 deficit. Bit of a stretch here, though. It's a hanger, though.
Ooh, big sigh of relief. William continues on.
It's going to be William, Pearson, and Javier in the semifinals. Probably coming up next year shortly. We'll see what Dylan's got planned, but thanks all for tuning in. We're getting down to the last little bit of this tournament. Thanks, Alex. Always
Thank you, sir.
enjoy commentating with you.
Sure, it won't be the last. You guys have a good one.
All right, later.